Hello everybody, Crow here, and I'm back with another Crow Extra video. I haven't been one of these for a little while, but then again, I really wasn't planning on doing these like either once a week or any kind of planned schedule at all. In fact, I was going to wait until Sunday to do one of these. Actually, it would have been Sunday night, but now's as good a time as any. Because one of the first things I want to talk about is the changes to the YouTube comment system. Everybody's been really screaming about this, and I have to say that I honestly don't care that much about the change. In fact, I'm happy it changed in one way or another. Now, granted, one crappy system traded in for another kind of crappy system. Again, it's kind of unfair for me to call the system now crappy. It hasn't been changed for more than 24 hours, and I'm really not really that familiar. Just that a lot of people have been up and screaming about it. In fact, you know, it's not too hard to find somebody's channel where they're up and yelling about bring back the old comment system. The old YouTube 5 years ago was the best, and now it really sucks ever since Google got a hold of it. But you know what? Google got a hold of it. It's their decision to make. They make whatever changes they want. You could have like 100,000 people screaming to change the comment system, but back to the way it was. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it unless people actually leave YouTube and like Google starts seeing their revenue going down. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot to mention. I'm showing Ken's Rage 2 footage again. Again, like I did the first Crows Extra, but this time I'm not actually playing it while I'm talking. This is just captured footage. I'm finally done capturing footage. I might do a quick clips video on this sometime in the future. I don't know how far in the future because, I'm not there yet. And I still have lots of other captured footage. I just haven't made Crow's quick clips videos for. Anyway, I mean, they're not going to change it. I mean, Google bought YouTube for a reason. They want to integrate it with everything else. So you've got Google Plus. Of course, they're going to integrate, try to integrate YouTube in with Google Plus as much as possible. I got, Gmail. Gmail's going to be integrated with all that too. They're just trying to integrate everything together so there's one hub point. However, we're in that transition time, and things are just really sloppy right now. And it's confusing for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people hate being told, well, you have to do this now to comment. You have to have a Google Plus account. I mean, I don't like any much as anybody else being told what to do. But, whatever their plan is, this is not it right at the moment. They've got something bigger in mind. I just, along for the ride, wait and see what happens. I really didn't, I have a Google, I mean, they did screw things up. I mean, some people, I myself have 2 Google Plus accounts now. One that was forced with my real name, and one that was just forced upon me because I didn't want to use my real name on YouTube. I've heard other people have maybe even 3 or more Google Plus accounts just because of the sloppy way they're doing things. But I think that sometime in the future, you could possibly get things merged together. I'm personally not a big fan of having to use your real name with Google Plus, or even Facebook for that matter. But all the complaining, like, hey, if you want to comment on YouTube videos, just make a Google Plus account. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. A lot of people are arguing, hey, I don't want to sign up for Google Plus because all they want to do is mine my data. They're just doing it to get my data. They're gonna mine my data. Well, you know what? If you're on Facebook, I don't see how you're allowed to use that argument because, that's what Facebook does. I mean, Facebook ain't free for a reason. Facebook, I mean, if they were keeping all of your data like private and everything, they wouldn't have they would have like a paid subscription service. But that's not what they're after. And I don't see why Facebook gets a pass while Google Plus doesn't get a pass. And, then there's other people saying, well, Google Plus really sucks. Well, you don't have to use it. I mean, if you just sign up for it to comment, for just comments for the meantime, I guess you could just close the account anytime you want to. But, I guess people just don't like that. And I guess that's fine. If you don't like that, then don't sign up. But, don't, complain that you don't want, it sucks. and then not give any reasons why it sucks. I mean, I've been being heard that Google Plus. I mean, I'm not really that familiar with Google Plus. I've gone in there. I've kind of messed around with it. The whole thing is really confusing. But you know what? Facebook was to me too. I signed up for Facebook, and it took me years to really get into it because I really didn't understand what the hell was going on with it. And that's exactly where I am with Google Plus right now too. And I think a lot of people are. The layout is confusing, and maybe that's the point. You don't want to sign up to it. It's too confusing. You don't want to use it. Google just wants to mine our data. Google's an evil corporation. Well, then don't use it and don't comment on YouTube videos. I mean, YouTube is a Google entity. It has been for many years, so you can't really complain about it. I mean, you're not really paying for it either. They're already mining your data through YouTube too. I mean, so they probably are. I don't have any proof, and a lot of people just claiming, oh, they just want to mine your data. There's no proof, but likely that's what they're doing. They're gonna be doing, or want to be doing. But honestly, I don't know if I want to say happy. I'm pleased to see that the commenting system has changed. I believe I said that at the beginning. They're trying to make some sort of improvements because honestly, the comments suck. They have always sucked on YouTube. They never really, the whole commenting system needed a major upgrade. The whole thing really sucked before. Replied comments not, linked together. They became linked together, but not indented unless you, made that option. I like the fact that, just top comments are at the top. Why does it always just have to be the last comment at the top? Again, there are problems with it now. There was problems with it then, but the fact that it's changing is a good thing, I think, for better or for worse at the moment. Just the fact that, things don't stay the same. Facebook hasn't stayed the same. Almost any website, worth anything has changed over time. And that's what YouTube is going through right now. And a lot of people just don't like that. They like the way things used to be. And things can't stay the way they used to be. And, I guess right now, if you don't have a Google Plus account, you can't make a comment. They're just trying to unify all the comments onto one system, and they're just trying to get away from YouTube's old commenting system, and I think that's a good thing. Honestly, I think they should have fixed the commenting system, but they've got this other commenting system, and they're just merging everything together. Hey, you know what? YouTube, the inbox isn't going to show any new messages. And you know what? YouTube's inbox has been broken forever. It was so cumbersome, it didn't really work. I'd go in there to see my new messages, and I'd click on it, a comment for a video. Why couldn't I respond to that video right in that inbox? Why would I have to click on the video to respond to the comment, go back to the inbox, and the comment not being read unless I clicked on it and clicked off of it and then refreshed the page? It really was cumbersome, didn't work well, and it's just, it doesn't work now with the changes. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do things now. It's just gonna take some getting used to. I mean, it's been less than 24 hours, and it just takes a while to get into the swing of things. The point is, the change may be bad, but the fact that it changed isn't bad. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just, me being the way I am, I just always find it amusing when anytime there's a change like that. A little change, a massive change like that, wow, people fly off the handle, and I actually find that more amusing. I just like the way people are just threatening, I'm not going to use YouTube anymore, blah, 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 blah. But that being said, a lot of people, like I guess, had set up, they don't like the messaging system so much, they're going to looking for other sites, one of them being Dailymotion. And actually, I signed up for a Dailymotion account earlier today, thanks to Retro Gamer VX. He's putting his video. He put a video there too, I guess, and it really has nothing to do with the commenting system. I don't really care about the changes to the commenting system. I can still comment, and it's actually a change to be getting notifications a different way. But I'm still getting my notifications. I'm still able to reply back to just about every comment I see. So I'm not really seeing the issue, myself firsthand, the issue that everybody else is having. But the reason is there's a bigger problem on YouTube, and that is the fact that video flagging is just way out of hand. And the fact that I've heard this, I haven't read this personally, that companies can flag your video, like for having game content, and in your appeal, you cannot claim fair use anymore, or you will not be able to claim fair use in the future. And one of the channels, Gaming History Source, took down a whole bunch of their videos and put it on another website because of this change, or this future change that's going to happen. So if there's a big problem with uploading game content, if everything's going to be flagged and you can't counter saying, hey, it's fair use, I'd like to use gameplay footage as a tutorial, or, you know, I'm reviewing this game, I'd like to show some gameplay footage of it, and the companies don't want you to do that. Like, Nintendo could just come right out and say, hey, you're showing gameplay footage of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, or Wii U, or whatever, and we don't like that, and they could just take down your video, or just monetize it for themselves. And you can't do anything about that. In fact, that has been a problem already with, like, Sega taking down Phantasy Star, or was this Phantasy Star or Shining Force videos? This has been going on for a long time, but now YouTube are going to be taking away your right to appeal based on fair use. And you know what? It's their website. They can do that. So the solution is to put your video somewhere else that would fight for your right for fair use, possibly. Now, I don't know if Dailymotion is the solution to that or not. It'll be an experiment, seeing what happens as time goes on. But, I mean, that's the bigger problem with YouTube, not the comments. Not the comments in the least. The fact that they don't want you to put up gameplay footage anymore for, you know, maybe the bigger channels will allow it, but me, you know, somebody with only 3,000 some subscribers, even Steve Benway, somebody who's got considerable more amount of subscribers, they're gonna, you know, get all your videos flagged, and there's nothing you can do about it. Taken down, you know, put somebody else's ads on it. That's a load of crap. I mean, already Konami, any gameplay footage I put up from Konami gets copyright flagged, and I'm not going to dispute that for fair use anyway. But you know, they're gonna put monetization on the video and give it to Konami. It really doesn't make sense to me. I could go on and on about it, but maybe that's for another video. I just really wanted to talk about the commenting system and how I don't think it's that big of a deal at the moment. I think it'll get better. Like I said, less than 24 hours since the change was made. Since I'm talking about this, I don't know when I'll get this uploaded. Try to get it uploaded tonight. But honestly, I'd just wait. It might make sense in the end. It might not. It doesn't make sense now. But I think it's just too soon to fly off the handle. Moving on. Really quick, the time machine. My pinball machine, the time machine. If you remember, I said that was not working. I actually fixed that maybe a week or two ago. It was the very first thing I thought it was, the bridge rectifiers. Now, on the board, on the power board, there are 3 bridge rectifiers. And a bridge rectifier is, I was going to look this up beforehand, but I'm just going to talk out of my ass right now. It's 4 diodes in a block. And I'm guessing now, because I didn't look this up, it helps regulate the voltage that's needed for the rest of the components and boards and whatnot. So there's a big heatsink on it. And one of the reasons I thought that this was the problem is because of the heatsink and the fact that the machine wouldn't start acting goofy unless it had been on for a while. Which, you know, maybe they were cool enough at when the machine's turned on, but as it heats up, then it'll start to screw up. So I unbolted the heatsink from there, and I took out the 3 bridge rectifiers that were on there, on the board, and I had ordered, thanks to Zachariah, I think it's just Zachariah.com. David is his name. I'm not going to say his last name because I honestly don't want to mispronounce it. Gersik. There, I said it, even though I just said I wasn't. he runs the website, and he's like pretty much an expert on Zachariah pinball machines. And he had put up a page on there saying, oh, if you're replacing the bridge rectifiers, here's, you know, what'll work from Mauser. Mauser being a website where you can order these components. So I ordered exactly the components. And when I took off the bridge rectifier, when I took off the heatsink off the 3 bridge rectifiers, one heatsink that covers all 3 of them, they were all the same size. However, what I got in the mail, 2 of them were like pretty much almost the size of the ones that were in there, and one of them was much smaller. So I'm like, what is going on here? Did I get the wrong parts? And I like, no, I didn't. And I didn't realize it until after I took off all 3 bridge rectifiers that one of the bridge rectifiers must have gone bad before, and they replaced it with one that didn't quite fit, because what they had done is actually modified the board to make the bigger bridge rectifier work. And I could tell that the original placing of those bridge rectifiers required 2 big ones and one small one, like I had gotten in the mail. And once I replaced it, and I used up the last of my heat thermal paste that I've had, my Arctic Silver. I've had that for years, and I finally used up the last of it, so I have to buy more. But anyway, I put it together, turned on the time machine, I left it on for a couple hours, and no problems at all. So I'm fairly certain that that's been fixed now. In fact, I've turned it on and off and played a game here and there, and I haven't had any problems again. So I'm pretty sure it's fixed. The only problem I have now is that when I turned it back on, all the settings were messed up, and when I went back in there to fix the settings, I actually made them worse. So I don't know how I screwed that up that bad, but I gotta go back in there again and change the settings. I made the game way too easy. I gotta change it back to the more difficult settings I had it set to. So that's the time machine. Now finally, I was gonna, and is a contest, SoftOtaku. I'm gonna put a link to this contest that he's running in the description. Go visit it. I'm not even going to say what he's going to have for the contest winner. Just know that it's something really unique, and something I actually wouldn't mind having, but I'm not going to enter this contest. I would have made a separate video if I wanted to, in order to follow all his rules. But what I want to do is, part of his, to enter the contest, is you have to make a video response, answering 2 of the 5 questions he had. And let me go back in here as well. I gotta go read these questions. I wanted to answer the questions at the very least, and give him a little bit of a shout out, telling people to go enter his contest and subscribe to him, because he's a pretty cool guy, and I'm like a brand new subscriber to him as well, and actually found out about him thanks to the YouTuber of the month. He won YouTuber of the month in October. And I checked it out, and I was like, hey, subscribe. And then, like, immediately after, he had this contest. And so I was like, okay, let's, I was going to enter it, because I wouldn't mind him winning the item that he is raffling off. But, you know what, I'm remembering, you know, I'm still going to abstain from contests, as I have for the past year or so, because the 1 year, I just won too many contests. So, give somebody else a chance to win some stuff. So yeah, let's go through these questions. Okay, so here is the first question. What's a lesser-known, underappreciated game you recommend? Well, for starters, and I was going to show these on camera, but since I'm doing it this way, you just have to believe me. For the PlayStation, I've got to go with the PS1, Motor Tune Grand Prix. Now, in the U.S., it's Motor Tune Grand Prix, but in Japan, it's actually Motor Tune Grand Prix 2. It's a really fun, like, kart. It's kind of kart racing, but they're actually driving vehicles in this game, but it's kart racing, like Mario Kart. Power-ups, the whole shebang. Wacky characters. I like how the vehicles morph. Like, they'll, like, when you go around a corner, they'll kind of, like, twist into the corner. Great characters. I loved the game when it was new. Played it a lot. In fact, I'm going to have to do a Crows Plays video on it sometime in the future. But really highly recommended. Look it up. It's actually done by the same people who do Gran Turismo, so it's definitely worth looking up. For Xbox 360, I'm going to say Oda Media's excellent Konami game. It's actually kind of a Gradius parody, kind of like Parodius, but with, you know, just girls riding rockets. It's really bizarre Gradius type game. It's got great Gradius action. but just very, very odd characters. I just like it. It's so weird. And actually, I'll do one more. For the PS3, let's say Under Defeat HD. I really haven't had a good chance to play this game yet. I did pick it up about a year ago too. Shame on me. But I found out about the game through Classic Game Room, and when I found out about the game, here's how obscure I think this game is. When I found out about the game and I knew it was out, I went to GameStop asking about it, and it wasn't even in their system. So hopefully it's in their system now, but still wouldn't recommend. I just ordered off of Amazon for you. Look up some footage. It's another great shooter with helicopters, some actually unique controls. So again, I might have to do a video of that. I would do a video of Otomi is excellent, but again, a Konami game, and as I mentioned earlier, Konami stuff gets automatically flagged. But I may do that anyway. I may make a video for that anyway. I have a review up on my channel of it, and that was flagged immediately, but whatever, it's still up there. And, okay, second question. What's a lesser-known, underappreciated YouTube channel you recommend? Let's say Intellivision Dude, because I was just in his chat, and as soon as I'm done making this video, I'm going back to his chat. So check out Intellivision Dude, one of my favorite channels. What would you like to see more of on my channel? And by my channel, I mean his channel, SoftOtaku. Again, I'm a brand new subscriber to him, so basically, just do anything you want to do. I mean, being in Japan, you have a unique opportunity. Let me start with being an American in Japan. You have a unique opportunity to show us Americans things in Japan, much like Luke Morse 1. So, and I'm a big fan of Luke Morse 1's. He does some great videos. Just, do gameplay footage, do Japan videos, do whatever you want. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a brand new subscriber to your channel. Show me what you got. I haven't gone back and looked at your backlog of videos. I figured let's just start at this point and go forward. I may do that one day, but not right now. What's the story behind your YouTube username? Now, a lot of people already know this, but Crow1111 is actually Mystery Science Theater 3000 reference. One of the characters, Crow T Robot, is one of the wisecracking robots on the show. Yeah, it actually goes back a long ways. Like, we're talking about mid to late 90s. When I was in the Air Force, we would log in and do, like, Quake 2, Quake 3, and that was just the name I would use. It wasn't the first name I used, but it was one of the first names I used. And so when setting up, what was it, like, something else. I used the name for something else. Oh, it was AOL. AOL Instant Messenger. And I wanted to use Crow T Robot originally. No, that was taken. That's instantly taken. So the reason why it's Crow with 4 O's is because in the title screen when they're doing the robot roll call, it's Cambot, Gypsy, Tom Servo, Crow, and on the screen they show Crow with 4 O's. That's exactly why my name has 4 O's in it. Why the 111? Well, I wanted to do exclamation points, but something somewhere wouldn't accept exclamation points in the username. So the ones are actually shiftless exclamation points. Again, because I couldn't just do Crow with 4 O's because that name is taken. Actually, on Twitter, I'm just Crow with 4 O's and no ones after it. I don't know why I did that one differently. But yeah, I just decided 111 because Crow 1, believe it or not, was taken by somebody. So I was like, screw this, it's gonna be 3 ones, and that's why it's Crow with 3 ones in it. So Mystery Science Theater is the big answer. I think this is the last. Oh no, he actually threw in this other question. What's your real first name? My real first name is Jim. However, all my friends know me as Crow. In fact, I make mention of this when I was getting married and I was sending out my wedding invitations to my friends. They didn't know my real name, so they didn't know who I was at first. They were my wedding invitations. I didn't write Crow on the wedding invitation, so kind of threw them off. But yeah, all my friends actually call me Crow. So, and I call them by their nicknames. So it seems to me strange to me why friends would call each other by their real names. That's just beyond me. So whenever somebody is referring to me and call me by my real name, It throws me off. And, you know, just family does that. Not, and my friends outside of family call me Crow. It's been that way. Why aren't okay, this is the last video. This is the last question. Why aren't video games a waste of time and money? And the answer to that is they are. They are totally a waste of time and money. I'm gonna retract that statement. It depends on who you are, really, because anything you do in your spare time can be considered a waste of time and money by somebody else if they're not interested in what you're doing. So that's why family members who aren't into video games would say, hey, you know, why are you messing with those video games? It's a waste of time and money. Meanwhile, they're just sitting on the couch watching football all day. You know, well, that's kind of a waste of time, isn't it? If you're not, well, to me it is, if you're not a fan of football. I mean, you go spend, you know, your money, go to sporting events. To me, that's a waste of time and money. I'm not interested in that kind of thing. However, if that entertains you, then it is not a waste of time and money. That's pretty much the answer. It is and it isn't. It is from somebody else's point of view, and it isn't if you're into that thing. And it's also not a waste of time and money if you work in the game industry. So there's that too. So do what you want. You could waste your money. Well, I shouldn't say waste your money, but you could spend your money on whatever you want as long as it entertains you. Hey, if you're going for a complete Nintendo collection and you spend a couple $1,000s on a rare video game, complete in box, only to put it on your shelf, and because that's your hobby, it's totally not a waste of time or money because you're enjoying it. Also, with the physical copies, if you decide that what I'm doing right now, you want something else, you're interested in something else, hey, you could sell that, make your money back. You might make more money back. You might make less, but it's an investment as a sort. And, you know, downloadable titles, you don't really have that luxury. So that's why physical media is, you know, I don't know what to say, is more relevant now than it ever has been. Because, you know, maybe 10 years down the road, you know, only these kind of games that, you know, games will be like only download only. That's what they want to move to. They don't have to make the physical copy, and they could still charge you the same amount for the game. But these old copies, you don't have to worry about who owns the copyright. You don't have to worry about somebody pulling the plug and you being able to download the game on the server. So who knows? Maybe some games will go more up in value. You know, it's really the games that nobody really expects to buy. Some ones get low print runs, fly under the radar. That kind of thing. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. Thanks everyone for watching. See y'all next time. Hey, you know what? If you want to comment and say, hey, Google Plus sucks, you know, this is going back to the beginning of it. The new commenting system sucks. Google Plus sucks. Go ahead, say that it sucks, but please leave your reason why it sucks. God knows they give us enough text in the message box now to say anything you want. So yeah, I mean, I'll not argue with you that it sucks, but explain why you think it sucks. You know, what makes Facebook so much better than Google, other than the fact that everybody's already on Facebook. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time. Bye.